I'm gonna need at least something like this. Okay, family. We're gonna start off where we left off last week, and what we're dealing with geography from an African-centered perspective. Now, outside of a nigga pumping his fist, saying he African-centered, I can put any nigga up here and ask him to name me 5 African capitals of 5 African nations, and you niggas will sit up here and look stupid. You know it's true. I find it hard myself sometimes, but at least I accept that fact. We know nothing about the geography of Africa at all. Now, if anybody want to prove me wrong, it might be one out the bunch. Anybody want to prove me wrong? Anybody want to come up here and start naming all 5 capitals? All right then, I figured that. But anyway, what we got to look here is the demographics of Africa. If we talk about Marcus Garvey, if we talk about going back home, you got to know the terrain. You got to know the different cultural identities there, the different ethnic backgrounds. You have to know all of that. You got to know where you're going. Okay, a lot of people say they're going back to Africa. If you ask them where, the nigga wouldn't, he can't tell you nothing. Or she can't tell you nothing. So first thing you got to do is, before we go back, we got to know the nations. We got to know who's scrapping with who. Because if they're scrapping, I don't think that would be the first place you want to choose. You want to choose where somebody going to have some compassion on your vision, if it is to go back home. There's some nations over there that is sympathetic to our cause here. But you have to find out of individuals who can communicate for you, who can talk for you, who can maybe, put a bug in somebody's ear, to be sympathetic towards your cause. But it got to be communication between Africans and Africans at home, Africans abroad. If you sit down and you talk to somebody and you got some history and you got some knowledge on where they come from, they feel like you figure they important. But goddamn it, if you come over and they ask you something, and the only thing you can tell them is about some goddamn George Washington, and goddamn George Washington Carver, the only thing a nigga ever invented was a goddamn peanut butter, that's all you can say, then, they know where your mind is at. That's a slave mind. Because we done did much more than pick goddamn cotton and, and sun up, sun down for master. We have had thousands of years where we was the rulers on this planet. The documentation is concrete. We don't have to create it. It's there for anybody to go home and see it. And that's why no cracker, no university, no European university, I say cracker. Cracker University is going to encourage you to go back home. Because they know, goddammit, they're going to be busted when you get up in there and see all the truth that's waiting on you. Now, when you look at Africa, you can see right here at the top, basically, that's desert. That's desert. And you need to know that. You understand? Down here, you got what you call the Congo Basin or Congo Rainforest down in this region. That is, it's so much medicine coming up out of that rainforest. Okay? Outside of the rainforest in South America, this is the second largest rainforest on the planet. I have some statistics, it's probably further down, we'll get to it. But almost a quarter of all natural medicines on the planet come out of the rainforest. And also that most of the oxygen that goes into this atmosphere comes out of the rainforest. You need to know that. These rivers right here, you got the Congo River, you got the Nile River, you got the Niger River over there. When you go into Africa, any continent, you will see that most of the time, the civilizations, they spring up around rivers. They spring up around rivers. You understand what I'm saying? Because first and foremost, you have to secure your means of eating and drinking. That comes first. Before any knowledge, you understand what I'm saying? Before any philosophy, you have to secure your shelter, your food, and your clothing. If a motherfucker ain't got no clothes on his back, it's going to be harsh out here. You understand what I'm psychologically? Just imagine the clothes that you got on right now. What if you did not have that clothing on your back and did not have an option to put not one stitch? You can't go in no drawer. You can't go in no damn basement. You can't get shit up off the hanger. Nigga, you was butt goddamn naked. You understand? Some people's out here is bums. All they got is the goddamn clothing they got on their back. You understand? When you in that condition, psychologically it fucks you up because the only thing you can think about is coming up. That's the only thing you can think about. If your stomach is growling, everybody done been in school without eating. And you know that shit is hard on you. Because your stomach is growling and that shit fucks with your mind. That's why they tell you that you should eat a breakfast before you go to, because of what it does to you. If you gotta wait to goddamn lunch and your goddamn stomach growling, it's gonna be hard to do them damn mouth problems. So what I'm saying is, before any philosophy, before any knowledge ever came upon, we had to secure food, clothing, and shelter. So now when we look, now we can look at these maps. We can look at these maps and we can see where it was popping on this planet. It's very, once you study these rivers, you study these lakes, you study fresh water, you study the demographics of this planet, and you will see that Africa is the richest real estate on the planet Earth. There's no damn doubt about it. And what they have done is, with religion, with Christianity, with Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, all of them, they have made you look away from Africa, even though, and fool you while they are there digging in the goddamn soil, stealing all of the damn mineral wealth, the natural resources, and got enough nerve to show you Africans on TV starving. It's propaganda. It's psychological. Africa has enough of food that is grown that it can damn near feed everybody on the planet Earth. It can damn near feed everybody. Its limit is 13 million square miles. So what I'm saying is, when you look at this is what you call up in here the Great Rift Valley. Why is it called the Great Rift Valley? Because in the process, you got Arabia over here. It is on a tectonic plate, the Arabian plate. And then you got Africa that's on its own plate. And in the process of the tectonic plates rubbing together and pulling apart, all of this land in here is sunken in. So the river is flowing from, this is Lake, which if you go to a map, it is called Lake Victoria. We understand that that's a colonial name. That ain't no damn Lake Victorias in Africa. Okay? And that's what the next generation got to do. They got to go in and put the right damn names in there. Alright? Ain't no goddamn Lake Victoria in Africa. That's when they came down in there and colonized our people. Okay? Just like all these goddamn schools y'all go to. If y'all look at them goddamn crackers' names that's on these schools right here in Detroit, they slave masters. Okay then. So, the river begins at this lake right here. You need to know that. You understand? This is the power source. Matter of fact, even the Congo is coming up out of the Great Lakes region. The Congo and the Nile is coming up out these, and when it tore apart, that's why these lakes came in. They're like cracks. They're cracks in the damn continent. And the water is coming up out of the mountains, and from these cracks, here come the rivers. And so, when you look at Egypt, is at the end of that river. Egypt is at the end of that river. I got this book on the Nile. I'm going to share some facts with you, if you didn't know. And the reason why we study the Nile, this is where our people begin. If you read in the papyrus of Hunefa, that's documented by Dr. Ben, you can get that in the Black Man of the Nile. You can get that in African Origins of Western Culture. You can get it in any of Dr. Ben's book. In the papyrus of Hunefa, this papyrus was written around 1600 BCE. It states that we, meaning African people, came from the beginnings of the Nile, where God Happy dwells at the foothills of the mountain of the moon. The God Happy was the deity of the Nile River. You will see him, he either got a papyrus and he got lotuses on top of his head. You can go look him up. Now let me give you some of these facts. Nile and its tributaries flow into 9 countries. So when we say Nile Valley, a lot of people just think about Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan. It's 9 nations that the Nile and its tributaries flow through 9 countries. The White Nile runs through Uganda, Sudan, and Egypt. This is the White Nile. The White Nile is the one that is coming from Lake Victoria, Mwanza, Nyanza. And it flows down, and you got the Blue Nile coming out of Ethiopia, Lake Tana. And they flow down here and they meet at Khartoum in Sudan, become one river and flow on down into the Nile River. Okay? Now, the Blue Nile starts its journey in Ethiopia, Zaire, the Congo, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi have tributaries that flow directly into the Nile or into Victoria Nyanza. Okay then. So now, when we studying the Nile Valley, and we say Nile Valley civilization, you need to take another look at the Congo. You need to take another look at Kenya. Kenya has some of the oldest fossils that have ever been found on this planet. Kenya, okay? Burundi, Rwanda, it was just some jumping off in Rwanda. See, a lot of that shit that's going on in Sudan, Rwanda, see, they need that type of madness going on. That is the excuse for them to be there. They need an excuse. We need to save the niggas. They don't know how to act. They monkeys. We the great white man. We got more knowledge. You need us. We can go there. We can show you civilization. Don't ever think that it's anything different than what you saw on Tarzan. The cracker think about your black ass today the same way he thought about your black ass when he came. Oh, I didn't even plug in. It's about to go out. Let me plug him on in. Okay. He still thinks the same way about you. And see, that's the trick, the propaganda into thinking you that the white man has changed. The white man will never change. A goddamn snake always crawls on his goddamn belly. You understand what I'm saying? And just like nature creates chameleons, okay, it's a part of nature for motherfuckers to change, you know, their appearance when necessary, if it's to their advantage, okay? There's certain shit there's certain plants in certain areas of the world where they had to adapt. A lot of the damn, you know, saplings, there's some plants that it used to take on pollen, but when the pollen, like certain areas of Africa produce certain type of plant, but the plants in this area breathe the pollen that the plants in this area give off. Even though they're not, once it enters the air, that's what it's looking for. But if they come over there and chop all this shit down, then the plant that's used to having that all along, it no longer has that. It destroys the ecosystem. You understand what I'm saying? Certain animals that are, you know, another animal, say for instance, the hyena and the lion, they eternal enemies. They feed off of each other. But if the cracker come in and hunt all the goddamn lions, then it throws the shit out of balance. You understand? Because they both been feeding off of each other. So if you kill one thing, then the other animal, now he got to go to something else. They might start eating people. You understand? Because you didn't destroy the fucking ecosystem. Okay? The people of these countries depend on the Nile as a water supply for themselves and their crop. But none needs the river more than 62 million people of Egypt. Military. None. You know why? Because Egypt has no rainfall. It depends 100% on the Nile. If you dam that goddamn river, their asses is hit. They can't make it. Why you now? When I say that, now you look at Darfur. Why you think they trying to push further south so they can get more of the damn river? You understand what I'm saying? They need as much as the river because I'm gonna show you why Ethiopia is more necessary to them than any other of the any other part of the river, because 80% of the river at Khartoum, when they meet, 80% of the water that goes down come out of Ethiopia. The Blue Nile is much more powerful than the White Nile. You need to know that. They live in a country, Egypt, that has almost no rainfall, and the Nile must provide all the water that they need. So right there, it's showing you through geography that Ethiopia is the mother of Egypt. It is the mother of it. There's no doubt about it. How the hell you think them people, and this is the source right here. This is the generator that's run. These is highways. These was the first highways of the mass transit system on the planet Earth. They shipped even them damn blocks from the pyramid. They shipped them down the Nile. How they did it, we don't know. You know? But that's the science that makes you dig. Because these is your people. You should know. You done lost the goddamn knowledge because in your heart you got weak. And when you should have crushed that goddamn cracker, you did not. And now you looking at the goddamn product of slipping. When you have to bow down to authority, to another motherfucker that tried to implement authority in your land, you should never bow down. Because this is the result. 600, 700, 800 motherfucking years in misery, oppression. This is what happens when you bow down to authority in your own land. And that authority is not the authority of your father and your mother. You should always fight the enemy. But somehow it did not happen that way. And we end up over here, we end up all around the goddamn globe, oppressed at the bottom of every damn barrel on the planet. You can go to any damn nation and ask who on the bottom, and the answer is quickly given. The niggas. Straight up. We on the bottom of every damn barrel. So now we have some knowledge basically on the two rivers, the Blue Nile coming up out of Ethiopia, the White Nile coming up out of Uganda. Meeting at Khartoum, coming down to the Mediterranean. Now, understanding that if you look, you can see that damn near the Congo almost connects with the Nile River. It almost, and I believe that that's just too much of a power source for them not to have connected them rivers. You understand what I'm saying? You can basically, this one flows from east to west. So the mouth of the Congo is right here. So I mean, you can sail right on down the Nile, hit the Congo, and come out and go into the Atlantic Ocean. Simple as that. Simple as that. Could be a lot of trade going on with South America because that's where it would break. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, this is the Limpopo down here. And it feeds off into the Mozambique Channel. Okay? Now, this Madagascar was a trading post between Africa and Asia, particularly India and China, where they would meet right here, and you could imagine that this was a major trading port for Africa, and when they see you must remain in control of these necessary power centers. That is a power center. You understand what I'm saying? That is a power center. This Nile right here is a power center. The Congo is okay, up here, again, you got, let me get to a better map. But what I want y'all to get from here is you can see that this is the most fertile part of Africa in this region. In the Metal Netta, this is what they call Ta Netaru, or the Ta Neta land, land of the gods. This is the region that they're talking about. This is where their gods come from, and we can get into that much deeper. Okay, I ain't even playing yet. Let me bring that in. Okay. Primarily the same thing. Rainforest. Now, from a military perspective, you must always know your terrain. You got your rainforest. You got savanna. That's more lowland. You got steppe. That's like mountainous regions. mountainous regions. These are the highest regions of Africa. That's why the river is flowing from the mountains down. You got desert. You understand what I'm saying? And the Mediterranean, that's up there. You know, you got vegetation, but it primarily looks like grease and rock. Now, here we go. Power centers. Alcohol on his ass. Okay. Now, the predictable floods. As far as historians and scientists can tell, the Nile's annual flood has never failed to arrive. Okay? It's like clockwork. It's like, wait a minute. Now, I want y'all to look at this. This is a Peckerwood's book. This ain't nothing you could go verify somewhere else. But what I want to hear, as far as historians and scientists can tell, the Nile's annual flood has never failed. That means we always eat. God damn it, we got food. When you looking at these maps, what I want y'all to think about, I don't give a fuck what a nigga tell you about no religion, none of that bullshit. You look at geography because that's going to show you where food is located. Israel, Holy Land, land of milk and honey. Damn lie, it's a desert. Go look. You going to let a motherfucker make you look away from Africa where all of what you want to call the Garden of Eden is located and look to a damn Mecca. Mecca, a shoebox with sand in it. That's all the fuck that it is. Ain't no vegetation. Abraham. Why did Abraham come into Egypt? Famine. Joseph asked Pharaoh to let his brothers, the 12 tribes, come in. Why? Famine. Go look it up. They lived in an area, goddammit, that was, look at the damn camel. The goddamn camel got to store all that damn water in his goddamn hump. Because if you get out there, your ass is in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? So when I start looking at the geography, I say, damn, all these Muslim niggas, I stay on their ass. I'm like, nigga, you seeing a mirage. You know how you get out, you see the cartoon, motherfucker be out there so hot and shit, and they dream about a goddamn oasis? That's showing you. Them niggas is seeing a goddamn mirage. Because there's nothing there. You can have Mecca, you can have Israel. That's what they're doing. The Jew, he's in South Africa. Who you think running South Africa? Who you think running the diamond trade? They don't give a fuck about them books. You niggas up here, hallelujah, you know, and cry for the Jews. You watch the 10 Commandments, you cry more than them goddamn Jews cry for Moses and the Israelites and shit. And when Moses go up there and part the motherfucking Red Sea, you probably fall out, shaking and shit, going into convulsion because you love that shit so much. I know it, tears, I mean, actually seeing motherfuckers crying over that shit. Moses has freed his people. And they get over there, and we got to understand that's the depth of Egypt. These motherfuckers done shitted on Egypt. When you got to understand, by Egypt being our greatest accomplishment, for them to do what they done to make it look like all Egypt ever did was enslave some goddamn Jew. First and foremost, ain't no Jew. Ain't no goddamn Hebrew. They never existed. It was African architects that built them damn pyramids and them temples. A slave can't build shit. You can take 100 niggas that don't know nothing about architecture, take their ass out there. You know what you're going to have out there? Some fucking garbage. You understand what I'm saying? If you go to any architectural, if you're going downtown New York, them is highly trained architects. They went to school. Ain't no goddamn slaves ever built shit. You're dealing with high mathematics. You're dealing with a science that's so great, no slave could have done that. No slave would have known that kind of knowledge. And if they did build pyramid, why they didn't go to Israel and do no better than what the fuck they did? If you did get some goddamn knowledge, you sure didn't keep it long, because you went home and you didn't do shit with it. Everybody done got the knowledge, but if you go to their land where they originate from, they ain't got no monuments. You always build the best shit at home. Why would you go abroad and build your greatest accomplishment in a slave land? You don't do that. So You got to watch this geography, because again, it's gonna show you where the resources is at. You need resources. You go on the stock market today. I'm not saying you should indulge in the stock market. Fuck the white man. I hope this shit fall tomorrow. Matter of fact, I hope it fall today. You understand what I'm saying? But when you go to the stock, they exchange resources. You got to have some land to have resources. You ain't got no land, you know what you is? You is a consumer. That's all you is. You're not a manufacturer at all. You don't manufacture shit. You don't even manufacture the drawers on your ass. I'm being real. If you're wearing a bra, goddammit, you don't manufacture the bra on you. I mean, as raw as it sounds, that's what it is. So if the cracker don't send no drawers around here, you niggas will be out here butt-ass naked. You'll be butt-ass naked. If Fruit of the Loom and Haynes don't bring their shipment of drawers down here, you niggas will be butt-ass naked. Straight up. All the damn gym shoes. Niggas will be around here shoeless. We don't manufacture nothing. And I want you to laugh, because what else the fuck can you do? You know, it's overwhelming at times. But it lets you know what you need. That's nationalism. You think about it. See, now that I put it on your mind, if you're thinking in a nationalistic perspective, then you will say, how can we do it? You understand what I'm saying? African people have not lost the knowledge of the loom. Ain't no goddamn cracker producing their clothes in Africa. Nobody, the white man ain't producing the goddamn, the Chinese producing all this shit. The fucking Taiwan, Korea, South Korea, and North Korea. Them goddamn Chinese making that cheap ass shit and selling it to you niggas, and you buy it on the daily. And the Chinese and the Asians are making a push for Africa now. Why we don't make a push? You understand what I'm saying? You know damn well if you could go back 15 years, wasn't no fucking Indians out there selling no goddamn merchandise. You let a fucking dot in the middle of the fucking forehead Indian come way over here, he's still shitting in a bucket. Listen here. You think I'm talking shit? Them motherfuckers still shit in buckets right here in America. Because when they was over there, that's how they was shit. They more comfortable with shit. Why? If you got an Arab that own an ice cream truck, I wouldn't buy shit off of them. I'm just being real. I wouldn't buy shit off because they got a bucket. A lot of them got buckets on the fucking ice cream truck. Straight the fuck up. They'll shit, don't wipe their fucking hand, and go make your ass a cone. I'm just being real. As funny as it is true. It is true. Let's move on. Let me deal. So again, okay then. Here's a power center. Here's a power center too, right here. Because you can cut him off right here, you can cut him off right there. You understand what I'm saying? You got two cutoffs right here, you got a cutoff right there. From Yemen to now Djibouti and Eritrea was a part of Ethiopia. Goddamn Italians cut that off. See, they needed that coastal. Djibouti and Eritrea. I don't know what they got up. Do it even got Eritrea up here? This particular map, I don't even think it got Eritrea up here. But this is Eritrea right in here. So they done built bases on top of Ethiopia. When they couldn't contain it, they take the coastal regions. That's what they do. They take them coastal regions. Controlling this shit. Controlling that water. That water is, we got to have that water. We got to have that water. Now you got to start thinking about it. Them Africans at home got some science, family. You got some science, but they got some science too. And so we got to communicate. What Garvey was talking, we got to reach our hands across the water. They're going to reach back. They're trying to reach now. We just ain't got the publicity. We ain't got, nobody's telling us, because they don't want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our brothers and sisters that's going back to Africa, man, they gotta come back home, come back to America, come back to these ghettos over here with more than just fucking souvenirs. You got to have names, contacts. As we go back and forth, you need to holler, you ain't got to put it out there, but when you get over there, holler at so-and-so. I put a bug in his ear, you cut. Then y'all get there, y'all chop it up. You know what I'm saying? How can y'all benefit one another? You know what I'm saying? That's what a global African supremacy is about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a hard fucking climb up. It's not going to be easy. It ain't supposed to be easy. But I got a vision. I got a vision, man. Fuck this system. Anytime you find yourself conforming, they say don't text. I don't give a fuck. What you mean don't text? Motherfucker, I'm enslaved over here. I don't want to hear shit out your mouth. You understand? Niggas put their man, fuck the seatbelt. The fuck you a G and you riding around with a goddamn seatbelt on. Me a nigga in a $100,000 car got rims and a seatbelt on. You know that shit ain't G-like. That's whole shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You conform every time. Turn the, you know what I'm saying? They say we need to be out of here at 9 o'clock. Fuck it, we gonna stay here half an hour long. 15 minutes long. We just gonna be defiant in some goddamn, cause we got to do something. You got to know to be defiant. If you block that, this damn that makes all it is. I mean, as far as somebody trying to go to India or China, boom. That's why United States and Somalia. They say Somalia got pirates and shit. That they kidnapping vessels and shit. There's a war going on over there. Because that cracker got to have that. He got to have that. And I'm going to show you why he got to have that. And that's why you're going to have to take it back. We're going to have to support our African brothers, Somalian brothers that's fighting over there, goddammit, because they know what it's about. You cut his ass off of here, then that stops his entrance in and out of the Red Sea. It stops his entrance in and out of the Mediterranean. Now, right here, this is the Suez Canal. That's man-made. They dug that maybe, if I'm not mistaken, 60, 70 years ago, if that. It might be less than that. What that did, I'm going to show you, let me see if I got a better map. Okay, I'll show you and I'll go back. Now, until they dug that canal, right there, they dug that man-made canal, the only way in and out of the Mediterranean was through the Straits of Gibraltar. It was through that straits right there. You can go look that up. You got Spain right there, and you got Morocco right there, the Straits of Gibraltar. So until they cut that canal, you understand, when you come in and go into the Med, that was your only goddamn way out. So that show you the limited access that the European had to the world. He had limited access. Now, Egypt, specifically Egypt, they got a border on the Mediterranean and a border on the Red Sea. That's why Egypt was so cold. You understand what I'm saying? That's why Egypt, because it controlled the trade. You understand what I'm saying, goddammit? Now, I'm quite sure that they had also dug a canal there. But the modern canal is the Suez Canal. When they came down there and destroyed Egypt and destroyed parts of Nubia, the people that was in charge of cleaning them canals, you know, it was destroyed. So a lot of the shit just filled back in. So this is the modern representation of what the Africans had already done. So Egypt controlled Europe as far as trade from Europe to India to China. Egypt was the controlling force. It was the controlling force. And so that's a power source. Once you understand that, I don't give a fuck about the religion, I don't give a fuck about, if you control that right there, you have a power center. You running shit. And so now that you know that, now all that religion shit, throw it out, now you know why them crackers called the Israelis is over there. They is the fucking gatekeeper. They the gatekeeper to make sure that this right here, see them there, that's the Suez Canal. Okay? They float them damn boats in and up out through there, go into the Red Sea, go around into the Persian Gulf where they is right now, Iraq, going over there, into Korea in that area. They need that. If the United States did not have that canal, they would have to sail all the way around Africa. Let me go back and show you. If they did not have that canal right there, the United States would have to sail all the way around Africa to get to that point, what you want to call the Persian Gulf, You understand what I'm saying? Any area in there, it would have to sail all the way around Africa. That's strategic. That's strategic. Now this is a up close. This is from outer space, and you can see it much better. Now, this again is the Suez Canal. Now you can see this is supposedly Israel over here. You already can see that basically it's a part of Africa. Ain't no damn doubt about it. Because we the first ones that, when we came down up out of the Central East Africa, where man, African kind, humankind, whatever you want to call it, that's where it originated at the beginning of the river. So it came down the river, and the first places that we went was over in these areas. The Africans dominated that shit. It wasn't even no goddamn Israel. That shit don't even exist. That shit was created in literature. It did not exist. The Africans ran all of that. But just for your information, the Mount Sinai, where Moses supposedly received the 10 Commandments, is right here at the tip down here, Sinai Peninsula. Okay, so he received that in Africa. So let it be clear. He receives his laws in Africa. And so just like Dr. Ben said, what God will be giving our laws in Africa but an African God? Okay? Them motherfuckers didn't have it before they went in. They was carrying that shit out. When they went over there, they looked up on the walls, said Moses was learned in all the education of ancient Egypt. You must go back there. That's where your greatest performance as a people has been, is in Egypt. Give a fuck what nobody else tell you. You can go there, see the monuments for yourself. You can make the decision for yourself. But at least if you go home, you have the opportunity to think about it and see the shit without nothing that, I mean, you take what I say and see if what I'm saying is true. Come back and say, Seti, we didn't see that shit, you lying, nigga. We saw something totally different. Okay? Or you can say, well, Seti, we did see it, and what you said was correct. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is you go and see it for yourself. Other than that, you'll be regurgitating. If you can't get there, make sure your children get there. You understand what I'm saying? Be responsible for somebody getting home, man. I don't want to hear all that shit. You niggas is drinking goddamn pop, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed. Goddamn it, you shine, if you pay to shine your shoe, put your goddamn suit in the goddamn cleaner, you go down there to